The City of Hobart Council is responsible for the state capital of Tasmania. Since the 2022 local government elections, under the leadership of Lord Mayor Anna Reynolds, they've pretty much jumped on every woke issue. For example, the statue of former Tasmanian Premier William Crowther came under metaphorical attack, with The Guardian reporting in 2022, a small step to reconciliation, Hobart Council to remove statue of William Crowther who stole Aboriginal skull from morgue. Crowther, a former surgeon, decided in 1869 to decapitate the body of a deceased Aboriginal man, replaced the skull with another, and sent the original to the Royal College of Surgeons in London in the interest of science. Anyway, the Hobart Council didn't like what the former Premier did more than 150 years ago, so they voted to remove his statue. Take that, deceased Premier. But before they had the chance, in 2024, the metaphorical attack turned into an actual attack. The ABC reported, "What goes around? Former Premier's statue chopped down in the night, a day after vandals' first attempt." And of course, the always unifying National Indigenous Times reported soon after, "Let's start taking more down," with prominent Tasmanian Aboriginal activist Nala Mansell calling for more colonial-era monuments to be taken down. Believe it or not, the Hobart Council was nominated for an award for all of this rewriting of history. The National Indigenous Times reported in April, "Project Removing Colonial Statue nominated for National Award." Yes, the council was celebrated for a project that ended with a bronze statue face down in the dirt. Unsurprisingly, the Lord Mayor supported the divisive Indigenous voice to Parliament in 2023, with the Mercury reporting, "Hobart Lord Mayor Anna Reynolds hopes her council will follow the lead of other capital cities and get behind the Yes campaign for an Indigenous voice." The good mayor also attended an Invasion Day rally earlier this year, calling for the date of Australia Day to be changed. She said, "It's shocking to me that more Australians and indeed more leaders don't see how unfair and mean it is to celebrate our nation's spirit on the day that a violent colonisation of a first people began." It makes you wonder, whatever happened to council just looking after the rubbish? To be clear, not everybody in the council is completely woke. Alderman Marty Zucco and Councillor Louise Elliott made the news recently, with Pulse Tasmania reporting, "Hobart councillors walk out of meeting after Lord Mayor goes on Australia Day rant." As the Lord Mayor opened the meeting, she spoke about her long-time support for changing the date of Australia Day, which she referred to as Invasion Day, saying, "How inappropriate it is for what is meant to be a day of national pride and unity to be held on the day that the British Army started colonising the Australian East Coast." At which point Alderman Zucco declared, "Lord Mayor, when you're finished, please let me know and I'll come back in," as he left the chamber, with Councillor Elliott following closely behind. The Lord Mayor actually chuckled when they walked out. Later, Zucco told reporters, "The Lord Mayor was totally out of line, irrespective of council policy and of personal opinion about changing the date. But to declare Australia Day as Invasion Day is uncalled for. One of my best mates for over 58 years is of Tasmanian Aboriginal descent, so don't play that racist card on me. We are all Australians." In July, the ABC reported, "Fed up, Hobart councillors push to move acknowledgement of country." Councillor Elliott said, "Many community members are completely fed up with being welcomed to their own country and having these beliefs forced on them that they don't subscribe to." Do you think the Lord Mayor and her councillors agreed with Councillor Elliott? Just a few days later, the ABC proclaimed, "Hobart City councillors reject push to drop acknowledgement of country." Councillor Elliott responded to the defeat by saying, Acknowledgements of country and welcomes to country are overused, divisive, demeaning, tokenistic, and ineffective. This is about the central concept of consent and giving people the option as to whether they engage with the ritual or whether they don't. It's obvious that these are political and quasi-religious rituals. I think it being left on the agenda is a form of harassment, and I think it exposes the council. But it's not just the mayor pushing all this wokeness. Her deputy Lord Mayor, Zelinda Sherlock, also seems to be right on board with identity politics and tearing Australian history and traditions down. In 2024, the Tasmanian Times noted, Zelinda Sherlock is new Deputy Lord Mayor of Hobart. It appears that Dr. Sherlock becomes the first female of Indian heritage to hold the title of Deputy Lord Mayor. 1 year later, the Australia Today proclaimed, First woman of Indian heritage, Dr. Zelinda Sherlock completes 1 year as Hobart's Deputy Lord Mayor. Yes, identity is everything when you pursue wokeness. But most recently, the Deputy Mayor was in the news for, can you guess, taking the rubbish out on time? Fixing all the roads? No, don't be stupid. Pulse Tasmania reported, Hobart Deputy Lord Mayor Zelinda Sherlock joins the Greens. Shock, horror. Who would have suspected that somebody who hates Australia's colonial history and the National Day would join the Greens? She said, I felt compelled to join the Greens. This is a party grounded in values I align with. In other Hobart Council news from just last month, the ABC reported, Hobart City Council are moving to ban new car yards from Hobart. Yes, Councillor Ryan Plasselt has said that car yards are a poor use of city space and that land should instead be used for affordable housing. He's even calling for a coordinated retreat of existing businesses to the outskirts of the city. So when Hobart Council decides that your business isn't on the woke spectrum, they will simply try to legislate you out of existence, or at least out of the city. And just one more piece of Hobart Council news. In October, the ABC reported, plumbers charge paying tax for Hobart jobs as red tape frustrates. Basically, the Hobart City Council is so hard to deal with that some plumbers are choosing to simply not work in Hobart, or if they do, they increase their prices or charge additional fees to cover the extra cost and delays associated with working with Hobart Council. So in conclusion, while the Hobart Council is busy winning awards for reinterpreting history, knocking down statues, banning car yards, and protesting the National Day, the actual residents are being left with the bill for their bureaucratic incompetence. Whatever happened to councils just looking after the roads?